welcome to the Open Observatory. I'm just going to do something very casual for this introduction so that it is not scripted in any way. What you're looking at right now are images that were created using prompts in an AI process, considering the parameters, or what are also called halos, that are around individuals or users in autonomous vehicles. So it's the sort of the sensing perimeter around each user. So if you think about someone sitting inside of a car, and in this case, an autonomous car, a self-driving car, you have a circle around you which senses the environment. And then as you come closer to another individual in another autonomous vehicle, the sensing perimeters or halos overlap. And so there's data that becomes part of your data that was also part of their data. So there's this sort of you think of it like a Venn diagram. There's information that has to be merged and also understood by the software program. So at the same time, you're sensing somebody else's data and how they're responding to the environment. The software is also sensing your data. So there's this really interesting merging that goes on. And at the same time, if you were in a terrain that was, say, not a roadway, a paved roadway, but had something more to do with an unmapped terrain, unmapped in the sense of that, there weren't narrow parameters where you drove straight and you could turn right up at the corner, but this is more just an open terrain, which you would be able to do with a autonomous vehicle that was allowed or had the capacity to move across a more open terrain. And I think this is really important and really interesting, and it's something that I want to focus on and think more about. And as I have been doing this, as I've been thinking about it, I've started to create something, create a way of looking at how these new technologies, in this case the interface for autonomous vehicles, is going to impact the way we think about our relationship to the landscape. And so we can affect this in many different ways. So I've had AI create a number of images that are related to this idea and to explore the idea further. And so it has something to do with the way that you write or create the text for the prompts. It has, you are able to then start to explore what some of the possibilities are when thinking about how we as human beings relate to the landscape and to each other within these crossing perimeters, or what the developers call or engineers called halos. So this is one of the ideas that I've been working on and I've been exploring. And I'm very interested in building a community of people who are able to explore the ways that our new and emerging technologies impact us. and how they can be used to help us understand the world around us and to help us to navigate it. And I think that rather than just use or rely on the data that we have given the large language models through various inputs, when we talk to others and it's captured, or um, when we create something and it's captured, or when we interact with someone and it's captured. I think that those have been relied upon to build these models, these large language models. But I think you can find ways to merge the models in interesting ways. And so I want to work on that idea. And I have a feeling that other people have all sorts of other curiosities about what they find interesting when it comes to these new technologies, things that they find interesting as human beings, things that would enhance their life, not things that would control them or control their life or keep them in a narrow state of mind, but things which would enhance their life. So this community is about exploring those new curiosities and sharing them with each other, and maybe building for ourselves our own new approaches based on this sharing within a community. So that's what I think anyway. This community, the Open Observatory, is going to be about. And I'm going to keep it really loose and really safe and open, and only about building and creating things, and not about worrying about the rest of the things that are going on in the world right now, because I think we have had enough of that. It's going to go on, and we have to be aware of it. But I think that we also have to, if we're going to survive in any way that's productive, feasible, and positive in terms of producing something and not being completely crippled before we get to the end of all of these complexities, I think that we need to think about what we have at our fingertips right now, and what we can use in ways that will be useful and that will provide for us. And I think there's lots of that type of resource available to us. So I may change this video later because I'm just doing it off the top of my head right now. So anyway, that's my intro video for this community. Thank you. Bye-bye.